Hello and welcome to the world. What happens when you move overseas? Uh, for many of us, it's a step of faith. One thing is certain is that your experiences are going to be much different than the country you've come from or other countries you visited. The first couple of days, or perhaps the first couple of weeks, you're going to be experience just getting settled in. Everything's going to seem so new. Maybe a bit foggy. Um, the food, the smells, the tastes, the textures, the sights, and what you hear. I encourage you to take the time to experience your surroundings, all of those things, the smells, the tastes, the sights, and the sounds. Um, uh, in this day and age when everybody's taking selfies, and I consider myself a bit of a photographer, and I've read many years ago that, they did some kind of study and they found that people who take lots of pictures on their trips remember much less about the experience, the journey, whatever site they went to see. And I'm aware of that, and I do try to, even though I'm taking picture, I do try to stop and experience all of those things. Use your senses and experience life. Most of my subscribers are from Western countries, and what Filipinos, that's where I've been for the last 3 years, will tell you that Westerners are always in a hurry. They don't take time to live. And you're in a new culture. There are going to be some challenges. Things don't work nearly as quickly here. Oftentimes, everything from fast food might be slower, not as fast. For many of us, fast food isn't fast enough. We want it before we order it. So understand that. Understand that you're a guest in a country. Um, I have a number of friends here in the Philippines, Westerners who a couple of them have vehicles, and you know who I'm talking about, and they will tell me they get so impatient when they're driving in the traffic out here. It's just so completely different. Uh, Very little enforcement. Lane lines are only suggestions, and barely that. 2 lanes turn into 3 and 4 lanes regularly. Anyway, understand you're in a new culture, completely different uh, time. They talk about Philippine time, and people don't get in a hurry that many Westerners do here. So it can be a bit frustrating. But when you walk through that door to a new country, uh, the beaches, the culture, uh, take time to experience that, and you will see opportunities. You will have opportunities. Westerners and locals who will probably present you with a number of opportunities. They may be good opportunities, or they may be some trap for you to fall into. So don't act before you've investigated. Many of you are looking to move overseas to find that special angel to fulfill your life and spend the rest of your life with. And there are lots of those. There are lots of angels willing to make that commitment. And here in the Philippines, they're relatively easy to find. Some find them through the dating sites, but they're very easy, very friendly, easy to find. Just doing your regular daily routine shopping, that type of thing. You should understand that there are a lot of people out there who aren't exactly angels, especially in the bigger cities. I've heard that, like Manila and Bangkok and a number of different cities where they have had the huge tourist population coming in for many years, and Cebu City to some degree. Even many locals tell me, "Sir, you need to go to the province. You need to go out to the country, to the small towns and the rural areas to find a good lady." That may be true to a degree. I think the girls and the men who come in from the country and become citified, is that a word? become used to the more material things and the better standard of living. I don't know, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Uh, but there are those who are obviously just looking at the money. And I've met many expats, and they will say, it's all about the money. I don't think it is. I still have faith that there are a lot of very sincere uh, females and males out there that you can find who will make a very good relationship. How many people have recommended that you take your time when you come to a foreign country? Uh, I know that many have, including myself. And some of you don't have a lot of time. Some of you are still working back in your own country. You've contacted somebody overseas. You've been corresponding overseas through Skype, different things for 6 months or a year or longer. And you're coming over for 2 weeks or a month. You meet them, and then you've got to go back to work. Um, or maybe even you're retired and you just need to go back to your country and take care of business back there. But many of you fall in love very quickly, lust perhaps. I've done another video called Love is a Choice, and I really do believe that. Uh, you and your partner choose to fall in love. I believe that's possible, that you can make a very good life out of it. There are also enough stories out there where relationships have ended badly, where the foreigner has built a house, bought a house, uh, started a business, and all of that, of course, is in the spouse's name, the male and female. I've heard from females who've had that experience where they've been conned and scammed by the male boyfriends and husbands. So it works both ways. Uh, be a little cautious. It is very easy to fall in love and put your trust in that person, and great if it works out. But understand, there is risk in life, not just overseas, but wherever you're living at the present time as well, of course. Some people moving overseas are looking for a second chance, or a third chance, or a fourth chance, and uh, that provides a unique opportunity, sometimes changing your environment, getting away from the negative things that might be pulling you back, holding you back. Sometimes that's a good thing. Just understand that you need to change also. And if you bring your bad habits and your bad attitudes along with you, uh, then that second chance may go down the drain. So understand. And I know a couple a couple of foreigners, a couple of friends that uh, they're more intent on trying to change the people around them, the society that they're in, the Filipinos. They should become more American attitude. And they seem to be a little bit on the miserable side at times because of that, instead of adapting and changing. Uh, of course, we all want to improve things in our life, infrastructure, and different types of things. Nothing wrong with that. Moving to a new country affords the opportunity to learn new things, learn about a new culture, obviously learn a new language perhaps. That's very difficult for me, but I am slowly learning a little bit of Bisaya here in Cebu, the Philippines. I have a friend that joined yoga classes, and he's been going to them, I think, for a couple of weeks now, and he says, yeah, he feels much better. He's learned to breathe much better, feels much more relaxed. And so there are opportunities to get involved in different things. There's an expat, there's a running walking club, there's a bowling club, there's a billiards club. There are lots of different activities you can get involved with the locals or with other foreigners. The first year and a half I was in the Philippines, I wasn't very concerned or interested in other foreigners too much, and I was more interested in the Philippine culture, the Philippine people. But there came a time where I would go to immigration and meet other foreigners there, Westerners in particular, and I really appreciated being able to chat with people with similar backgrounds, uh, uh, similar take on the language, that type of thing, and I've done a video or two about speaking English with English-speaking Filipinos, and the same would go with English-speaking people from many different countries. The accent, the grammar, it's a different English. Even me talking to different people from different parts of England, the UK, or Australia, different parts of Australia, they have different accents, use a little bit different words and grammar, that type of thing. So it can be a challenge. But anyway, I started appreciating after that first year and a half um, being able to meet other Westerners on a regular basis. And not only Westerners, one of the biggest things that I really appreciate being overseas, something that I don't believe would have happened back in the United States of America, is I am meeting people from so many different cultures and countries here in the Philippines, uh, and retired people and middle-aged people and students, and travelers can be extremely interesting group of people to talk to, and you can learn so much from them about other countries. Many of them have traveled other countries you may be interested in, so you can tap that source, and they're an incredible source of information. And for instance, I've met many people who have lived and worked in Vietnam, and each one gives you different story, different perspective. And when I recently visited there, I've got my own perspective as well. So it really has been a learning experience meeting all these people from other countries, Asians, Europeans, Americans, Canadians, South Americans. I don't want to leave out the people from Antarctica. I haven't met anybody from Antarctica yet, or the Arctic, as far as I can remember. It can be a great experience moving overseas, or even traveling overseas. I do suggest that you have some plan and resources to make that trip. Of course, there are people who come over here and run out of money. They don't have a pension. They don't have savings, and they think they're going to live on $500 a month. And you can do that until you can't, until expenses like medical expenses, dental expenses. If you have a house, some people have a house that's paid for, that they've moved into with their foreign spouse, and eventually there's maintenance required, those types of things. So depending upon your resources, could determine whether you're going to have a decent lifestyle or a stressful lifestyle. So have a plan, have a backup plan, have a plan if things don't go right, so you can get back to your home. So moving overseas provides lots of new opportunities in your life. It's going to produce some challenges, of course, different types of stresses, and just depends upon the person, how they handle all those types of things. But attitude has a lot to do with it, even wherever you live. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening, and please subscribe. Please share the video. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time.